So it's really hard to decipher and tell. Super Sandwich, thanks for becoming a member of China Insider. Much appreciated. Yeah, so we have to be very careful with the stuff around this case, like, because it's very difficult to get a great sense of who is saying the truth, who is deliberately causing a lot of misinformation to spread, and why are they doing it. So the issue with this one is that they've posted private photos of Yu Menglong. You can see here with his mother. So that's Yu when he was younger with his mother, and this was their supporting evidence that they are in fact close relatives and friends of Yu Menglong. And he even has family gathering dinner photos with Yu here. Yu Menglong is here, and then the mother is here as well. So this person seems legit. This is impossible to read. Okay, so here it reads. I am a friend of Yu's family members. Hearing that so many days the family member of Yu had been saying to me how sad and depressed he has been, I cannot endure that anymore. So now I'm providing a just simple evidence to support the fact that here we see Yu when he was younger with photos with his mother, and a few years ago when Yu returned to his family home, and these are the photos that you cannot see anywhere else. So when you ask me why I have these photos, it's because I am the friend of his family. Okay, so this just describes the fact that he legitimizes himself as the family friend of Yu. Okay, so why am I taking the risk to speak here? It's because I think a lot of information needs to be spread around, needs to be heard, but they themselves, meaning the family of Yu Menglong, doesn't have a way to do so. And his family members have been censored on Weibo to the point of, and also on Xiaohongshu, meaning Red Note, to the point of everything they send is being immediately censored. And then you guys can see what happens with other platforms as well. So essentially he's saying like the situation doesn't allow his family members to speak out on their own, and hence why he's putting this onto foreign websites like Threads, whatnot. Okay, so now the next part is I have to reveal some people who pretends like nothing happened, what their real faces are like, meaning what their real identities like. The relatives and the police all know that you guys were there that night, and you guys are using your relatives to keep mouths shut and to be running around freely for these days. First person they mention is Song Yiren. Song Yiren is a primary sort of culprit in this whole situation. So Song Yiren is let me just show you here. Song Yiren is the girl that people thought was dating Yu Menglong, but it turns out was probably grooming Yu Menglong to join this type of like Harvey Weinstein type of situation in China. And apparently, again, this is unconfirmed information. So just I'm saying this because it kind of fits the context. But a lot of information suggests that she was kind of like pimping out male stars to these powerful CCP officials who were into that. And she had this. She was almost like it. They're making it sound like she was the female Epstein of China for male stars. Essentially, that's what the information is making her out to be. Now, obviously, she's kept silent since all this has happened, and there's a lot of accusations leveled against her. In particular, this post here, the first person that they mention is Song Yiren. So Song Yiren is a primary sort of target, which if you look at the photos, like Song Yiren knows a lot of the same people that are now being accused of getting Yu to this place, and she's friends with those people. So she's like by any means to distance herself. She has not been clear on that or tried to seem like she wasn't in there in that group that night. So she didn't really make an effort to come out and clarify. And in fact, none of these people have come out to clarify. I think partly for one reason is because they don't want to make things more riled up than it already is. So that's enough to prosecute. Those live clips and audios do not lie. Yeah, so you're right, because anyone that hears it is going to be like, dude, look, like that sounds like his voice, man. Like, true, more like Elaine Maxwell. Yeah, I think that's a better comparison. So Song Yan is the first person being mentioned here. Says that night there were two different parties. Okay, so not just the one where the 17 people were at, but there seems to have been two parties. This is an important detail that will come back later. Okay, so two parties. You were there for both that night. How dare you to pretend, with a face to say that you had just known about it that morning, pretending like you were innocent. The second person is Ji Guangguang. So Ji Guangguang is another figure that's in this case. Okay, so this one is pretty good too. Okay, so Ji Guangguang is this guy up here on the top right. He is a TV writer for Chinese dramas. Down here on the bottom, you see that this is Ji Guangguang, the second guy being mentioned. This is the first girl being mentioned, Song Yiren. They know each other. They're very close. And this is also Song Yiren with another guy, the third guy. I call him C. I call this guy G, and this is S, Song Yiren. So S, G, and C, they're very close with each other. And this is the apartment building where Yu Menglong, fell that night. Okay, so the second person mentioned, Ji Guangguang. Okay, so again, some refreshers on the details. The 2 Rolexes found in Yu's pocket after he passed away belonged to Ji Guangguang. The apartment that this all happened at belonged to Ji Guangguang. And then also the many cases of I guess you would say the circle where things happen, like in the entertainment industry. Ji Guangguang seems to be the guy that is behind it all that we can kind of think of. The reason is Ji Guangguang is an offspring of a former CCP official named Li Peng. Li Peng famously was very for pro crackdown on the Tiananmen Square students in 1989 as well. And Ji Guangguang's real name is Li Ming. So Li and Li. And they found photos of him, which actually, if I can find it, I will show you later. But they found photos of him, like a family photo with Li Peng. So that seems to be the connection there. Because he's untouchable. Like there hasn't been any, any chance of anybody here being prosecuted. Let's just say that. Because you need an umbrella. Because the whole thing with how the CCP works is it provides a shield, right, in the form of an umbrella. There's no rainwater that will catch onto you because the umbrella is so big. It's so massive. Actually, we started late, so chat. Just if you're in right now, you're actually on time. Clear some of the psyops. CCP agents spliced clips of some of the accused guilty together, probably to try to blackmail each other and other actors to stay silent or complying. That could be a possibility. But these photos, you can find them on Instagram and Chinese media. So, are you black? Do I look black? Okay, let's continue. Now, let's go back to the third person, which is Zhao Manqi. Zhao Wanqi. So Zhao Wanqi is he was there that night. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so this is the one. So this guy is Zhao Wanqi. People from the reflection of his glasses believe that this was the scene of the party. This was the scene. This is Yu Menglong in the middle there, and this was the scene of the party where you see clearly figures here, right? You see that there's some people in the reflection of the sunglasses. And people believe that they're dragging someone here. You see how there seems to be sort of like a not a horizontal, but like a diagonal figure kind of thing there. I guess it would be like this side for you guys. Like about here. So if I zoom in more, I don't know if you can. Oh, it doesn't let me zoom in. Sad. Maybe I can zoom in on here. See if you can see it. Let me zoom in here. There we go. Okay, so you see how there's like a little figure kind of looking thing, stick looking thing here. And it seems like these people are carrying it. And in this photo, you see, so, oh, sorry, no, this is not Yu Menglong. This is not Yu Menglong. They believe that this is Yu Menglong. This is somebody else, but this is the party, because you see that that's the window there, right? And then whatever happened here, something is it's interesting, and something is going on. So people believe that that's the case. Anyways, this is the guy that was there that night. Now scale. How do I go back to transform? Reset transform. Okay, there we go. Okay, reset transform. Okay, all right. So that's the third person there that night. Says, okay, sorry, I didn't read this part yet. So Ji Guangguang, people fell from your house, so meaning Yu Menglong, and then you don't explain it, but you immediately go offline and you run away. You're pretty good at running. And then it says, Zhao Wanqi, you cannot hide either. When the person passed away, you were there. The clothes covering him, you also covered him with, you covered him with your clothes. And then now you can pretend to be a person to go attend some events or activities. Seems like you have a lot of free time. So it says, now that I've clearly explained to everyone that these infos are true, you guys should not be so stern with your uh, speech. And for others that have attended that night, other than trying to bully the family members, what else can you do? Says that the law will eventually catch you. Eventually, you guys will show your true colors. Seems like people were taking videos and photos. Yeah, so I'm sure somewhere there are photographic and video evidence of that night. It's just whether or not we'll get our hands on it, which I think, yeah, I really don't think so. Late to the stream, what's happening? We're explaining some of the newer details on the Yu Menglong case. So overall, the impression I got from this article or this post on Thread is that this, I would say at this point, I would say it's 80% possible. The reason I say that is because, look, this came out, today is November 1st, right? Yeah, November 1st. So today is November 1st. We are almost 2 months when it happened. So almost 2 months since September 11th when it happened. If this was the real case of a family member talking, I would assume if they really wanted this to get out, I would have assumed that this would have come out last month. So that's why I'm still kind of sus about this post, simply because I think, I'm not saying that the details don't line up, because if you really look at the details, these are the main people that people have like been investigating, right? These are the main people, and you got the photos to back up your claim. You claim you know who this family is. That's Yu Menglong right there. You guys know exactly the details of this, like the story lines up. But I still can't help but think that we just can't take everything without a grain of salt, because it's such a big messy situation now. Just because you come out with something doesn't mean we should fully trust it. And plus, this entire read doesn't really provide us with any new progression on the case. Rather, it only confirmed our existing hypotheses, if that makes sense. So I'm not discrediting this as something fake, but I am saying that this is not moving us further in where we are. So, great question from Deskuga. Any updates on his mother? From the sources that I can hear or see, they are safe. So the uncle and the mother of Yu Menglong, they're both safe. They are being told to be quiet. That's for sure. It's a shame because everything is muddled. Would we even know the truth if it came out? I think, well, truth in this sense is kind of subjective, because you will never, like you said, you will never know it's the faux truth, because we will never see the truth. And that goes with everything in China. Excuse me. Nobody really knows what the truth is. You can only take an educated guess just based on what you know. And eventually there are things that confirm it. But at the end of the day, like, you will never get to the full objective truth. This one here. But in my opinion, I think we still should, simply because they have this photo. Now, where could they have obtained this photo? That's another question. Could have gotten it from Yu Menglong's phone, his mobile device, because I'm sure they got a hold of his device. And so if they wanted to pretend like things are going a certain way, they could do this, right? That this could be faked if they just gotten it from his phone. How can the international fans get help with Alan's case? Is signing a vase can get him justice? I think you can try, and you can also keep attention, keep the exposure of this case. And I think while we won't be able to get to the final answer, we will still put pressure, because I think at some point this has reached the CCP, the higher ups, and they clearly are using this case to talk about political power and who gets to control what. So this does have impact on the higher ups, which I think is very effective. Okay, so our next screenshot, this is one where I obtained from a colleague. It is from Chinese social media Douyin, and this was quickly deleted, so you won't find this video anymore. But this is what it reads. Okay, I'll do a rough translation because it's very graphic. And be aware of what I'm about to say is very graphic. It is about what took place that night. So if you can't handle this stuff, just just turn off the audio or whatnot. But here it goes. Okay, so with regards to the body, just how cruel is too cruel? According to internet rumors, it's still not as much as what I know in terms of the accurate description of what happened to the body. Because I had known pretty early, I was very consistent and persistent in my uh, beliefs. So what hasn't changed is me. Hitting and torture, those are worth nothing. What they've done was control Yu. So fish means Yu Menglong because his last name Yu sounds like fish in Chinese, which is Yu as well. So it's a homonym. Okay, so that's what they use emoji for fish to describe Yu Menglong. So first, they had already controlled Yu Menglong early. I don't know what SSST means, but everything else here, he was still alive. Okay, disfigured. Face was, I guess you would say, smashed. Nails pulled, teeth pulled, hair ripped with skin. Down there ripped. So just a lot of ripping. Fractures, a lot of organs. Because they want this for a human plastination. The rest sold to the dark web. And you can imagine what's being done there. So anyways, yeah, I don't want to get like this stream taken or demonetized. So I'm just gonna, I hope that was enough details. You can think of the rest, but that's what was said there. Now, again, these kind of things, once you post it on Chinese social media, it immediately gets deleted. There's no chance that you can really see it other than when you encounter it because of the algorithm at the time. So I'm not saying that this guy is 100% telling the truth, but again, it's like one of those things where if you follow up on what he said, some of it has already been discovered to be at least plausible, right? So, which that brings me to the point where I was mentioning how, you remember the letter said there was two parties that night. There was one where eventually we know that he fell, allegedly, again, not really, but it seems like there was another party. But what some people have been theorizing is that it actually happened before that night. But that whole party itself was simply a cover-up, meaning that whoever attended that party that night, you had already passed before that night. It could already have happened on the 9th or the 10th or even the 8th, a few days before that. But they had to use a special event to cover it up, to make it seem like that this was an accident. Okay, now the next coverage on this is a video that Chinese internet users made this with AI, but I think it's a very good representation of the entire Yu Menglong case from a very macro, like top-down perspective. So I will kind of explain everything. It's all of the references in this AI video is actually makes sense. So, you know, some people don't like AI, but I think in this case, it does a great job at explaining this case, okay? So in the beginning shot, you have this huge umbrella, then you have layers, different layers of smaller umbrellas, but they're still relatively to this figure down here. They're still massive. This is Yu Menglong. Now, what these umbrellas stand for is they're the large crime syndicates or crime networks, or the umbrellas that protect those crimes from taking place, right? So up at the top, you have the entire CCP structure. The case isn't complicated. Many rumors there, but I believe we can get justice for our angel. I hope so too. It's true that these kind of gangster crime is widespread in the world, but the difference is the extent. People that, unlike us, who read Chinese news daily, cannot understand why we emphasize that. Hey, Dave. Good afternoon from South Africa. What did I miss? We're just talking about the latest updates on Yu Menglong. Thanks for joining us, Muso. BB, diplomacy, that's why we don't give DNA. Dude, honestly, in China, you know what the crazy thing is? Like, everything requires an app now. You take a blood pressure, you need an app to hook up to that device. You do anything. Like, you want to get your, go on the train, they take your facial data. All your hospital data is shared in a national index for, like a health registry. I heard his body was found. My question is, who's in possession of his body? Some rumors suggest it's inside a museum. It's being plastinated, like turned into like a wax figure kind of thing. But again, it's you can't confirm that. Okay, so in this video, I'll play it. So again, there's layers of umbrellas, and then the thing is, when you discover one, you see more umbrellas. You see they're all connected. I think then later on, it just goes to talk about how, like, people are just destroying the evidence and whatnot. So that was pretty cool. Oh yeah, okay. So I don't know if you guys have seen these photos from they've been out for a while. They've been out for many days now. So I don't think it's necessarily new stuff, but I thought to look back at it. Is there any further evidence or information about the other actors who fell out of windows drunk? Personally, I think those are probably also related cases as well to like what happened to Yu Menglong. It feels like his passing woke something up in the world. I think it did, man. Like I think a lot of people, especially those like I don't mean to be uh like sexist or anything, but I think a lot of girls who don't care about politics or didn't care about this kind of stuff suddenly became interested in how China works because they might have been, just some entertainment fans, some invested C drama fans that were essentially forced to, because like with girls, like you don't necessarily care that much about politics to begin with, let alone like complicated stuff, right? But when your favorite actor or even just dramas that you were really into or you've come across this person, you know when they pique their interest, like they really go down a rabbit hole. Like my wife is like that too. She doesn't care about politics, but once she finds something that she's like, wow, this is crazy, she goes down a rabbit hole. So I think to the credit of the female fans, they've really been the main driving force behind this. They're much more in tune with the entertainment stuff. Like for me, I there's some stuff I just simply didn't care. Like I don't care who this actress was or that actor was. Like it doesn't appeal to me. So in that sense, I'm at a disadvantage in terms of talking about this because I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know who that is. I have to go find out who that is or who this person is. But these girls, like they know off the top of their head. I'm like, this guy's this, that guy's that. He did this one or she did that one. So it's like, whoa, that's crazy. Okay, anyways, so with these photos, I'm like, what is he doing here? He's got a blue fish, and he's trying to like hook it with a fishing rod. So it's in Chinese fishing is called 钓鱼, right? Or you can say hanging. Hanging. 钓 also means hanging. Hanging fish. Fish meaning yu menglong, and yu again the fish, and the yu is a homonym. There's also the what's it called? Advertisement or TV ads for, excuse me, an exhibit has all of these red string hanging fishes. Again, similar sort of symbolism. This one is crazier. You got a fish on a piece of stone block, fish on a chopping block, person clearly wearing a suit, so a male, tied with red strings. And then this was at one of the museums, Qihao Museum, which is in the Bulgari Hotel in Beijing, and they had a giant fish. So when these 4 photos came out, I was like, that's just a coincidence. There's no way that this is happening, But now looking back at it, there's a theory that was developed where basically they think that Yu has been a target of a deliberate setup for a very long time. It wasn't just like a sudden thing that happened that night. Netflix Foreign says, do you think a Chinese or Taiwanese drama could be made critiquing the whole situation of Chinese actors, or would no one want to risk acting in it? So if you did one of those, the chance of you passing the inspection at the Film Industry Bureau, like the bureau that oversees all production, because before you can release a new TV series in China, you have to go through the examination. Like they literally minute by minute, frame by frame, watch your entire show to figure out if your show has these hidden sensitivity in it. If so, the chance of it passing, be allowed to go on market, is very low. Yu Menglong was mostly a supporting role actor, except in web dramas where he might have a leading role. Exactly. So that was the issue with a lot of the attention, is many people didn't even know who he was in the beginning, and so they're like, why would this guy be killed for something, And then I guess that became the source of curiosity. Can I ask, as a Western foreigner, are certain parts of China viable to move to, or is the whole country under the umbrella? If you're just going there for like vacation for a week or two, I think it's totally fine. But if you're living there a long time, and especially once you learn the language, you'll start to see that the whole of China, it's really pretty much the same. Thank you for talking about Yu Menglong. This young guy screaming still haunted me. Justice for Yu Menglong. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty, that video is very, very crazy.